So this video is me editing a video that was submitted to me by somebody. I try to keep this anonymous because I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but showing common mistakes that I fix when people edit for me. Timing of the audio with, or the B-roll with what I say, and keeping the tempo of the video. Basically, it's like a song and you really want to keep the beat of the song. And the audio is the drum, and you can change whatever you want in the visual as long as it's not too jerky. As long as the audio doesn't have these gaps and these things, you can have a little gap of a visual where I'm not really doing something, but you really don't want long pauses. See how awkward that is? So anyways, this is me editing. After you see a pattern, you feel like you've got it, you can skip to more to the end, but the end has me detailing the break test at the end, the final break test. And that's a little bit different than the rest of the video. So if you only want to watch 10 or 20 minutes, you'll see a pattern, and then you can watch the ending and you'll see a little bit more information, or watch it all the way through, maybe even on double speed. It only takes about a half an hour to learn pretty much how to edit a break test video here at HowNOT2, my main channel. If you are new to HowNOT2 YouTube, this is just me vlogging the behind the scenes for my other channel, HowNOT2. And I want to help creators understand the raw stuff that happens behind the scenes. This will also help anybody who wants to work with me on my team and help them understand my style. Everyone's style is different, and it's pretty hard to reverse engineer what I'm doing, at least the thought process that's going on in my head when I edit this stuff. So this will definitely tell you literally everything on what's going on in my head. Enjoy. Okay, so I have the 4th edition of the file here. I'm going to drop it in. We're going to start on the introduction. So that is, right there, is 2 full seconds without any audio. So we're going to want to tighten that up. It's nice to have a little action, maybe the last spin on there, so you know I was swirling it.
Mechanical advantage is a myth.
Because that's the only point you need, and you really want to get to the premise.
I got more 4s with a 9.
I like that.
When you see those diagrams where you have a 3-to-1 or a 5-to-1 with 100 kilograms on this side, and it puts 300 or 500 kilograms on the output.
On the output is the complete thought. So I would put the marker there. That's where I want the whole thing. And so I'm going to take that image and I'm going to actually overlay it over the whole thought. And that way people can see it.
A 3-to-1 or a 5
and I like,
where you have
and then
a 3-to-1 or a 5-to-1
there we go.
With 100 kilograms on this side, and it puts 300 or 500 kilograms on the output.
Oh, I want to take it to that marker. And then,
yeah, we all know that, but
if I really wanted to try to keep this tight, like that look on my face, we're going to cut that back, and we're going to show up to that scene.
Yeah, we all know that if you...
And it's a little too tight. A little too tight. A little tighter. There we go.
Yeah, we all know that if you add friction to that, you're not going to get those results. That's theoretical, perfect math or science. However,
I like that.
Nobody really talks about stretch. And as I'm trying to tinker...
Now that...
Nobody really talks about stretch.
That scene needs to be...
However, nobody really talks about...
This is where this scene needs to be. Needs to be when I say nobody talks about stretch.
And as I'm trying to tinker with a pulley system
and so we want to show that pulley system I'm tinkering with, not me pulling on it. Because stretch is like such an important, critical part of this video. I'm going to move that clip. I actually like that. So what I could do is just B-roll over the rest of it, since I don't have the original part. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to basically copy it. I'm just going to lock these two things, and I'm just going to put it right on top. And
Nobody really talks about stretch.
Well, obviously I don't want this part. Let's see if I can nail that down.
Nobody really talks about stretch. However,
I'm like trying to swallow and think, so there's no reason to even have that. I could even shorten that up. Might be tight. Let's see how it sounds.
However, nobody really talks about stretch.
Yeah, nobody talks about stretch. Well, you know what I could do, since I do have this clip, this is what this bin folder is all the, and I know it's my 13:1 because I did this video. I also know the angle in that video. So it's that one. So like that's the full clip, right? And I don't want. So that's perfect. That's enough time.
Nobody really talks about stretch. And as I'm trying to math or science.
Let's try that.
However, nobody really talks about stretch. And
that's a nice complete thought. However, nobody talks about stretch. And then we'll cut to the next scene.
And as I'm trying to tinker with a pulley system that I can go outside of the lab and break all sorts of things that we have planned, I need the perfect pulley system to get the most force.
I just need pulley B-roll. There's no specific thought. I'm tinkering with pulleys. That's just friction. So it'd probably be when I have like a 13:1. Let's see here. Be the last yellow shot. Let's see. There we go. It's not moving so much. Well. Cool. Let's see what that looks like.
And as I'm trying to tinker with a pulley system that I can go outside of a pulley system.
So that jump cut, let's hear.
System that I can go out.
See, that kind of stuff, those details they think matter. See, listen to the word that.
Pulley system that I can go out.
That I can go out. That I can go out is a thought, even a little one, and it cuts and it changes a jump scene right in the middle of a thought.
Pulley system that I can go outside of the lab.
It's kind of like fast paced done wrong, because it makes it feel more like jerky instead of fast paced. I think there's a difference there. So what I can do is I'll shorten this guy up.
Trying to tinker with a pulley.
All right, so let's
stretch. And as I'm trying to tinker with a pulley system that I can go out.
Yeah, that's fine.
And break all sorts of things that we have planned. I need the perfect pulley system to get the most force I can get with just me or another person pulling.
Just me or another person pulling is where.
Pulley system to get the most force.
Boom! That's when I'd cut that off, right? So there's the marker.
I can get with just me or another person pulling. So that's this video exploring.
You know, I'm gonna put some markers at the top of this.
I can get with just me or another person pulling.
And that'll I'll work on that later.
This video exploring how mechanical advantage really works. Now we're not going to add multipliers to the system because that complicates the crap out of it. All we're going to do is pull straight and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and what
So here's the 3-to-1, the 5-to-1, and the 9-to-1.
Because that complicates the crap out of it. All we're going to do is pull straight and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1.
See, that 5-to-1 shows up. it's timed. It is timed with 5-to-1, but it's such a fast thing that I'm going to see if I can, let's see, what am I pulling? That's yellow, a yellow 5-to-1. I know where that is since these are mostly in order. So that's probably, that's the 3-to-1. That's the, well, maybe this is my 5-to-1 I have. You know what I could do to fix this?
I can get force.
Because that's where I want
to get the most force. I can get with just me or another person pulling.
Me or another person pulling, I can just throw some B-roll of me pulling again. Me or another person pulling. No, that's not a good pulling scene. Let's jump to me really fighting one of these. I think it was this one. Yeah, me really struggling there. There we go.
How did he die? Got skewered by a dog.
So it's just me struggling there, right? That covers that whole scene right there.
Most force I can get with just me or another person pulling.
So it's me pulling. That's the topic I'm talking about. Me or another person pulling. So back to this. 9-to-1. That looks great. That's when I'm talking about it. The straight thing. I probably wouldn't do that again. It works.
Is pulls straight and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1.
You know, there's a gap there.
Straight.
Let's see if I can. Because it sounds like there's a gap. It's that I think the audio doesn't sound smooth. If your eyes are closed, you shouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Complicates the crap out of it. All we're gonna do is pulls straight and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1.
Yeah, that's better. It's like you can tell the audio's from a different place, but at least it's smooth. And then the 5-to-1 is what I'm looking for. 5-to-1 would be the yellow 5-to-1. Definitely not 13-to-1. And that's just B-roll. Doubt it's this. Sure looks like it's this one. There's my 5-to-1.
So now I'm doing a 5-to-1 with 5 times more material. So now I'm doing...
So I want as much of that scene as possible. So let's see if I can use it.
A 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and what I thought was and a 3-to-1.
So I want this.
And a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, and
Wonder if I could do this.
Straight and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and what I thought was clever, 5-to-1, a 9-to-1.
Let's see what that looks like.
What we're gonna do is pulls straight and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and what I thought.
Yeah, instead of me putting a 5, let's just show a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and what I thought was clever, a 13-to-1. So we'll show.
Is pulls straight and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1.
We'll just throw some more pulley B-roll. People love that stuff. You know, I wonder if I have any of this stuff. Bobby get B-roll. Looking for Bobby B-roll. No, this is just how to quickly find some action shots. Nope. It's just a lot of me pulling.
Pulls straight, and a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1.
That is a 13-to-1 though, technically. Let's see what the white one has. Somewhere in the middle. A 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1. I probably wouldn't put anything if I wasn't trying to fix this, because we have like B-roll here. Don't necessarily.
Until I realized it's not. Spoiler alert. What I thought was clever, a 13-to-1. Until I realized it's not. 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and what I thought was clever, 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1.
What I like is.
And what I thought was clever.
You know, no. I don't want to try to line up this clip with the audio. And what I thought was clever is an entire thought. This is literally cutting off my entire thought.
A 13-to-1.
Like that's the build up, the drum roll. Then what I thought was clever was dun 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 dun, then show it.
13-to-1 until I realized it's not. Spoiler alert. And then we use a dynamic rope, a static rope, and dynamo, which is 0 stretch.
I like that a lot. I don't know if it's timed right.
Dynamic rope, a static rope, and
let's see. Dynamo. See there? This is the pattern right here. That's where that clip is supposed to start. And it's boom, 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 and it's not even started yet, and I'm already talking about it. And that, I think, makes a huge difference.
And dynamo, which is 0 stretch, in order to see how much.
It's like a song. It's a tempo in a song. And this is the drum beat that keeps that rhythm throughout the video.
Stretch affects each one. So stay tuned, affects each one.
See that? So that's perfect.
So stay tuned and watch the shit.
It transitions to the next thought right here, and there's no B-roll.
And watch the shit show while we have all these numbers we're going to spray you. If you want, you can see it in the description below. I'll lay it out nice and easy for you to read. We're just going to try to keep this thing at fast pace. Stay tuned.
I like that. We just barraged you with B-roll. It's okay to have this part in here where we're not talking. So that's perfect. What I need to fix is this in here. So I'm going to...
And a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 9-to-1, and what I thought was clever, a 13-to-1, until I realized...
That is probably not the best way to mark stuff, but I sure like doing that. Okay. So now we're done with intro. Now we're in a different pattern. We're not trying to just squish as much as possible to impress anybody. However, we are 1:30 into this without ever actually starting the experiment. But that's okay for a 20-minute video. It's okay to have a 1 minute, 1.5 minute example of like the overall bird's eye view of the project. Let's see how this starts. So this sounds really quiet. You see like 18 to 12, right? But here, yeah. So I keep changing my volume on my computer and I realize, boom, we're at 6. Well, more like 10 is the average, right? But then you get here. Oh. So we're here was our average, right?
So I got a little bit less here than what I was pulling.
Here.
So now I've got a 2-pulley system, giving me a 1, 2, 3 to 1, and here we have a nice.
So in these scenes, I'm talking low. These scenes, I'm talking high. So all this audio is going to have to be fixed at some point. I might not do that right now.
The 9-to-1 and what I thought was clever.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's just cut that. There. So I got to turn this up. Well, I'll turn it up here. Maybe I can. Because I'm okay with that volume. It's all of this volume. I can't hear anything.
Our first test is a single strand of about 5 meters of dynamic rope. Let's see if we get the same output as I give the input. So I got a little bit less.
So coming up over my shoulder, yeah, that's fine. Because there's a reason it's not on the screen yet. And it's like, dun da da da, what are you going to find out? And then it's boom, it's there. That's super important. That's always there. So let's check the numbers.
Here than what I was pulling.
Well, first of all, that number's not right. Dang it. And I don't know what text this is. It's very important to make sure this information's right because people really analyze the crap out of it. It looks like this is right. So now I'm gonna pull out my phone and check this to make sure I've so 1.19 minus 1.34, there's a 0.15 difference divided by 1.19. I'll have to check that. Okay.
Less here than what I was pulling.
All right, so that's like right there is a big no-no, which is to cut that off. There's literally no audio. Right here is literally the difference in whether or not people click off of a video. They will move on to, because there's a panel right here of all the other videos they could go watch. You have to keep them on the video. And I'm not even talking here. There's like no talking, all of this. Huge gaps. They're like jumping 100-meter gaps there. So now, boom. And I'm going to cut it off right there because that's where the graph is. Now, how long is the graph on this screen? Because that's important. People need to be able to feel like they're seeing the whole thing. So we got 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7. Yeah, 7 seconds. That's awesome. We just got to make sure those numbers are right. So what I'm going to do is lift it way up here because that's obnoxious to me, and that'll remind me to look at this later.
I've added 2 pulleys to the system, giving me a 1, 2, 3 to 1. And here we have a nice SMC 3-inch pulley, and over there kind of a crappy 1-inch pulley. And this gives us 3 times more dynamic rope in the system.
That's awesome because, like, I'm falling asleep watching this guy talk, right? For him to finish this action here while he finishes what he's saying makes me feel like this video is not going to drag too long.
The system for about 15 meters. That's not 3.3. This should be 3.3.
The only reason I could get behind this, where you come over the shoulder, is because of the suspense. This only happens once. I like how this just jumps right to it.
True 3 to 1. Now, dynamic rope in the system.
Oh, it's quiet again.
Or about 15 meters.
So, I don't want the louder. I just need this louder.
System giving me a 1, 2, 3 to 1.
Okay.
And here we have a nice SMC 3-inch pulley, and over there kind of a crappy 1-inch pulley. And this gives us 3 times more dynamic rope in the system, or about 15 meters. That's not 3.3. This should be 3.3 if it was a true 3 to 1.
Okay, so let's check the numbers. 1.13, 2.26, and yep, that is good.
Now, this isn't the best pulley on this side, but that's a pretty good one. Friction's not my problem in this case, it's stretch. Now I'm going to add friction to the system. I took both pulleys out, and we're going to see if this 3 to 1 gives me a lot.
Oh, this edge has edge bleed right here. This clip isn't big enough. So I gotta find the beginning of the clip. Cut.
Now I'm going to add friction to the system. I took both pulleys out, and we're going to see if this 3-to-1 gives me a lot less over there. And we're going to see if this 3-to-1 gives me a lot less over there.
Huh.
Now I'm going to add friction to the system. I took both pulleys out, and we're going to see if this 3-to-1 gives me a lot less over there.
That's okay. I'm gonna pick my battles at this point. So I'll just make that a hair bigger. Okay.
Now I'm going to add friction to the system. In this case, it's stretch. Now I'm going to add friction to the system.
Oh, see how long that goes? Like,
Stretch.
there's like a whole second there's no audio. It's the tempo, it's the beat.
In this case, it's stretch. Now I'm going to add friction to the system. I took both pulleys out, and we're going to see if this 3-to-1 gives me a lot less over there.
That's watching me back up.
Less over there. Fingers are going to wear out. Fingers are going to wear out.
You only need to see me pull twice. We just shortened the whole video.
Fingers are going to wear out. A little bit.
I'd say cut it off right there. They saw me pull it. That's all that matters. All right, so is this correct? 3-to-1, no pulleys, dynamic rope, 1.19, 1.99, theoretical actual. And that is, yeah, it's actual. Yeah. Output is 1, output is 2. Input is that, so I should be getting 2.4 for 200%. So correct.
A little bit less, but not that much less. What was it before? 2.26. So friction did decrease my output from my input. What was it before? 2.26.
Okay, so this is an audio thing, right? This is back to the tempo.
What was it before?
So first of all, we need to hear Bobby.
2.26.
So let's raise that up.
So friction did decrease my output from my input.
So we're going to try a little trick. Now I moved my thumbs, but that's okay. We're going to take this. We're going to unlink them. We get rid of the audio. I don't want to jump the video. It looks too jerky that way.
2.26. So friction did decrease my output from my input.
Boom. Audio is no gaps.
How much less? What was it before? 2.26. So friction did decrease my output. What was it before? 2.26. So friction did decrease. What was it before? 2.26. So friction did decrease my output from my input.
Okay. All that dead space. Nothing happens. No action, no talking, no nothing.
So now I'm doing a 5-to-1 with 5 times more material than our single pull. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with no pulleys to see what friction does.
All right, so what was our last test? I feel like we just watched something with no pulleys. So that was a 3-to-1 no pulleys. This is a 5-to-1 with no pulleys. So my goal is to get to this as fast as possible. So there's 235 to 255. That's 20 seconds to get from here to here. That's a lot. So it's okay if I explain it.
single pole.
As soon as I stop talking, boom. I leave the audio because the audio is what's what keeps the tempo, and we're going to change it to me pulling.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with no pulleys to see what friction does.
So I would rather get the end, because the end of the pulling is more interesting than the beginning.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with no pulleys.
And back to the audio issue is we're floating in the 12 range.
5 times more material than our single pole. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with no pulleys to see what friction does. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's quiet because I wasn't looking at the camera.
To see what friction does.
So I stopped talking. We're gonna end it right there. Boom. Look at all that dead space we just cut out.
1.39 input, 2.38 output. That is not 5 times more.
It's not even 2 times more. You made it worse than a 3 to 1.
Let's add pulleys.
That's actually really funny. There's a dynamic. There's talking throughout the whole thing.
More. 3.9 input.
Audio.
2.38 output. That is not 5 times more.
So now you can see it's going to get real quiet.
It's not even 2 times more. You made it worse than a 3 to 1.
So we're going to just crank that audio up.
Times more.
It's not even 2 times more.
And then this one is just like...
You made it worse than a 3 to 1.
Let's add pulleys. Now we've got our 5 to 1.
Oof. This,
Now we've got our
look, it's floating at -18. This audio's up and down.
5 to 1 with pulleys and a dynamic rope.
All right, so now, next challenge. How do I get to there? So this is, oh my gosh, 317. Yeah, it's basically just 20 seconds, basically. So let's change this.
Let's add pulleys. Now we've got our pulleys.
Actually,
Now we've got our 5 to 1 with pulleys and a dynamic rope. I feel like I'm gonna spring forward.
so that's interesting. It really shows the dynamic.
Now we've got our 5 to 1 with pulleys and a dynamic rope.
So, how do you do that? I want to show all of that. I'll show you a magic trick. 5 to 1 with pulleys. And a dynamic, or I'm telling a story here. All right, so watch how that looks. So let's start from here.
And a 3 to 1.
Let's add pulleys.
5 to 1 with pulleys.
Spring forward.
Spring forward, you see the dynamic rope. So you really understand. And you can even cut that because you know I got sprung forward, and you can take that all the way over. People know it's a dynamic. Wow. Except usually I like to change the text to that. Somewhere in that realm.
Pulleys. I feel like I'm gonna spring forward.
5 to 1, pulleys, 0.89, 3.84, theoretical, 4.31. Yep. Oh, 4.31. Cool.
Getting better, but that's not 5 times 0.89. 1, 2, 3.
And I like the fact that it's, let's see here, 3, 9. Yeah, it's that perfect 7-second range for people to read and see and collect this information. This is not where we want to cut fast. People want to be able to not feel like they need to pause every 15 seconds to see this test. That's good. All right. Is it quiet?
Getting better, but that's not 5 times 189.
It's not going to hurt to go up a little. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 1 with nothing but carabiners. I don't even know if it's going to work because it's all pinched together, which is more of a demonstration on why there are rigging plates than a demonstration of friction. But let's just see what we get, and then we'll put on the police part.
So all of that right there. I mean, this is interesting. You need to know what I'm doing, right?
Demonstration of friction.
That is the end of the thought, right? What I just said here is because I don't know what to say next. Let's just see what we get. Well, obviously we just want to see what we get, right? So we want to get away from that. And we want to see, like, the struggle.
I'm not even getting anything. Damn it.
Boom. That's all you need to see to know that that sucked.
Plates. Then, demonstration of friction. I'm not even getting anything. Damn it.
Yeah, that's no different than the 5 to 1 result.
That's because I was only getting 5 to 1 working with me. The other rest were just loose. Let's just add all the...
I would say put this in, well, no, my face is there. You're right. There's no good place to put that. Nope, there is. Right here. But I mean, this works. Okay. 9 to 1, no pulleys, dynamic rope, 1.2, theoretical, actual, theoretical, yep. Math is double checked. Let's check length. I want to get rid of all that extra. I also want to start it where I talk.
I'm not even getting anything. Damn it.
Audio.
Yeah, that's no different than the 5 to 1 result.
That's because I was only getting 5 to 1 working with me. The other rest were just loose. Let's just add all the pulleys in now. And now.
All right, can we just cut out some of the laughing?
5 to 1 result.
That's because I was only getting 5 to 1.
See, there's that whole 2 seconds there I'm thinking, right?
Damn it.
Yeah, that's no different than the 5 to 1 result.
That's because I was only getting 5 to 1 working with me. The other rest were just loose. Let's just add all the pulleys in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 1 with pulleys. 9, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7.
Boom. No one needs to see me count all those.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 1 with pulleys. With the dynamic rope. Pulleys.
People know we're on a dynamic rope. We've never changed.
With the dynamic rope. 0.85.
So, that's a good shot. I actually really like that shot for potentially late earlier. It's one of the best pulley shots we got. So what I'm gonna do, this is where I left off. I'm gonna come back over here and I'm gonna dump that on there. I'm gonna lock that. Oh, come on. There we go. Man, that's a good one.
All we're gonna do is pulse straight, and a 3 to 1, a 5 to 1, a 9 to 1, and what I thought was clever, a third straight, and is pulls straight, and a 3 to 1, a 5 to 1, a 9 to 1, and what I thought was clever,
Boom.
a 13 to 1, until I realized it's not.
There, it's fixed like a puzzle, finding that piece on the floor. Boom.
All we're gonna do is pulls straight, and a 3 to 1, a 5 to 1, a 9 to 1, and what I thought was clever, a 13 to 1, until I realized it's not. Spoiler alert. And then we use a dynamic rope, a static rope, and
Boom.
dynamo, which
Timed. Solved. That's fun. Okay. Of course, got to save this. All right. Now, using this clip, we already used, so I did get to use the value of it.
let's just add all the pulleys in now.
I actually like when that leaves the screens, right? So people see the screen. Let's see here. Hold on. How long is it on? It's 3:41. Yep, it's got that 7-8 seconds.
Let's just add all the pulleys in now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 1 with pulleys. With the dynamic rope. Please.
Oh, let's just see how it looks.
8, 9 to 1 with pulleys.
I don't know. Let's see what it looks like. I don't need the audio from. There's no audio.
8, 9 to 1 with pulleys.
With pulleys is the thought.
To 1 with pulleys.
No, does not work. Okay. And so the miscellaneous sounds are important. I think the action would be important to show first, actually. Let's see what that looks like. Well, first of all, I cut it wrong. And see right there, when my eyes leave, boom, that's where I cut it. I'm not sure what's going on here. There we go. All right. Forcing my way through this thing.
Please.
So I like that sound, but we'll overlay it with this image. Sort of. That's not what's going on when I pull this thing. It's,
0.85.
So let's just do this.
To 1 with pulleys.
One, two. But you want the good ones. You want like the real struggle. So let's maybe get rid of that. 1, 2. And then it feels like, oh, it's time to go see it. So let's just get rid of this. Less is more. And we'll drop it right when it gets to that one. And we'll just get rid of that. Okay, let's see how the transition looks.
8.5.
I might have cut it off too soon.
0.85. 0.85. 5.92.
Well, I guess I'm just going to cut that out. I don't want that weird shot.
5.92.
Oh, this is where we didn't have the graph.
Quite 9 times more. But it's close.
It's still off by 30% or so.
What was that? Is it because I cut that? Oh, gosh. That's probably the problem.
Not quite 9 times. 5.85.
There we go.
5.92. Not quite 9 times more, but it's close.
It's still off by 30% or so.
Let's try 13.1. It's close.
Still off by 30% or so.
We don't really need Bobby's thought. It's kind of a really, I'm not looking at the camera. We don't know Bobby's there. It's kind of a weird.
It's more, but it's close. It's more, but it's close.
Yeah, that's, I don't know if that was like that or if I did that.
Let's try 13.1. I added little pulleys on the tail end.
I look tired. That's fine. Cut off that extra.
Let's try 13.1. I added little pulleys on the tail end of the big pulleys. So now I've got 13 strands here, and I've used all of my dynamic rope to do this.
So now that. Let's see what kind of B-roll we got for that.
So
all of this is draggy. And see how there's no audio? I'm not talking. This is literally perfect B-roll. So what I could do is, let's just get to the data.
I did get one. So we got.
All right, so boom, we got one. There's no conclusion. There's no thought to that, right? So the thought was, I got one, which is amazing for springy rope. But since the thought isn't there, all of this now is my B-roll transitioning into like that scene right there. Yeah, that's one. Like those 3 shots, like that's the money shots right there. Okay. So maybe we will use the audio from both. Well, first of all, that's not what I want to do. I want to use. So from here to here is me, up, down, over.
Added little pulleys. Times more, but it's close. Let's try a 13.1. I added little pulleys on the tail end of the big pulleys. So now I've 13.1.
I would say I would cover all that up.
I added little pulleys on the tail end of the big pulleys. So now I've got 13 strands here, and I've used all of my dynamic rope to do this.
I don't even mind that audio. So
My dynamic rope to do this.
1, 2 pulls at the most. There's no audio talking. There's 2 pulls at the most. No one needs to see me pull more. So let's jump right into it.
We got 5.
People can see the graph. Like, people can see what I'm doing here. Now, this last one didn't have a graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go... Oops. You don't need...
9.2. Not quite 9 times more, but...
You don't need to watch me add the graph. We already know how to do that. That's not what this video is about. My program was not offering the graphs properly. Okay, so you can see a pattern here of what's going on, and what I am left to do is just cut through all this. So in order not to torture you watching this, I'm going to finish just this dynamic rope right here. And then I'm going to cut straight to the brake test at the end.
So that did not increase the force by adding those pulleys. It decreased it.
I have a theory on why that happened. I added another 4 passes of rope. So my 9 to 13 one has just that much more rope. It's just nothing but bungee cord I'm working with at this point. I bet if the rope was super static, it would give me more. At least that's what I tell myself. Shall we go to static rope now? The next test we do, we use a 10.0 set. I bet if the rope was super static, it would give me more.
Boom. That was the end of that thought.
At least that's what I tell myself. Shall we go to static rope now?
Boom. Now we're going to debate whether or not this is useful relative to this conclusion here. This is super nice, but did I also say it here? That's what I'm going to find out.
5.
That's less.
Less than half.
Well, you got 8.89 on this last time, and you got almost 6 last time.
Really?
Yep. So that did not.
So, all right. So Bobby just tells us
Less
maybe.
than half.
Well, you got 8.89 on this last time, and you got almost 6.
That's actually a really good thought.
Really?
Yep. So that did not increase the force.
So see this audio here? Boom.
Almost 6 last time.
Really?
Yep.
Let's do this one. Cut there. I'll show you a magic trick. No, we're gonna ignore it. I would cut that dead space out, but it's okay.
So that did not increase the force by adding those pulleys. It decreased it.
I have a theory on why that happened. I added another 4 passes of rope. So my 9 to 13 one has just that much more rope. It's just nothing but bungee cord I'm working with at this point. I bet if the rope was super static, it would give me more.
So, man, that's just.
9 to 13 to 1 has just that
So we're
much
at the
more rope.
negative
It's just
12
nothing
mark.
but bungee cord I'm working with at this point. I bet if the rope was super static,
Negative 10.
give me more. The next test we do, we use
And now we're at
a
negative
10.0
6.
semi-static rope, the kind that you would haul a bag up El Capitan or possibly jump off of a 1,000-foot cliff with. Don't jump rope with static ropes. That was a very specific thing. You got to check out our Dan Osmond math videos coming out on that.
Okay, so that is.
Capitan or
Boom. I have to add B-roll to that later. That's a separate issue.
make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified when the videos come out. You don't depend on the algorithm. Because when this deals like this, we keep doing 24% off for 24 hours from the time I post this video on pulleys on extremegear.org. And these double SMC pulleys, the 3-inch ones that you see in this video, are like $120, $130 each. If you bought a set of these, you could save over $60. So we're giving away all our profit on these flash sales. So you'll learn about extremegear.org, which supports me 10% whatever you buy there. That's not on sale. So if you buy climbing, caving, canyoning gear, then please buy it there. They do ship worldwide and really supports this channel. Because living off of YouTube ads is also a myth. I will tell you where the discount code is for the 24% off at the end of this video.
All right, so I'm going to put B-rolls of SMC. I'm going to put B-rolls of extremegear.org. That's fine. That's not what this video is about.
Because living off of YouTube is also a myth.
So it's already awkward asking for, commercial. See that long second? That long second right there? Before?
Living off of YouTube ads is also a myth. I will tell you where...
After.
Because living off of YouTube ads is also a myth. I will tell you where the discount code is for the 24% off at the end of this video. So really need to watch time. Now for the 10.0 static rope test. We're going to work backwards with our static rope. We're starting with our 13 to 1, since it's already read, and a 10.0 semi-static rope.
That's a great fast
Semi-static rope.
intro. Let's get to me pulling. People already know the process of pulling. There's 2 pulls there. 1, 2.
It's interesting, I got a lot more because it's not springy on me. Not exactly 13.
That's actually a good thought, but I can just get right to it and cut out the excess. So that's what it looks like.
It's interesting, I got a lot more because it's not springy on me. Not exactly 13 times 1.4.
This is a kilonewton more than we got on any of the other ones.
Interesting orientation. Okay. I like where the words are in the graph. The 13, 1.4, 6.98.
We have now downgraded or upgraded depending on the results to a 9 to 1.
The other ones.
I would,
Go 9 to 1. We have now downgraded or up.
because we already say it and it's, I don't know, it doesn't flow.
We have now downgraded or upgraded depending on the results to a 9 to 1 with 10.0 semi-static growth. Semi-static growth.
So let's experiment again with showing this part. Let's show that. And then we'll overlay. Go up. I like the rah, but we time it, right? So we'll put the rah after this part.
Semi-static growth. To 1 with 10.0 1 with 10.0 semi-static growth.
See how that timing just flows like butter.
I got more.
Let's make sure I didn't screw that cut up. Yeah. This is where it brings you back to the beginning of the video, which is great. We're in the middle of it.
I got more force with a 9 to 1.
With less
WTF with less input. Oh my god. Well, let's see if I can get almost 6 times more force pulling without any pulleys or any mechanical advantage. So now we have a 5 to 1.
So that's just me talking, right? That's just like an extra.
With less input. Oh my god. Well, let's see if I.
That's me laughing out in the background. Let's get to the next test.
So now we have a 5 to 1.
So we're just laughing about that fact. The fact has been made.
So now we have a 5 to 1 with the 10.0 semi-static growth.
I didn't say that long enough.
Let's see if I get my 1.3.
Let's get to the last. Boom. That's all people need to know about. Let's get to the info. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. I was going to show you the ending. Wow. OBS says it's been recording for an hour. So let's just get to this part.
Made him buy us a new toy. This is a.
I'll cut out. You can see that later, the before and after. I want to get to this part.
However, if when they say you can pull 2,000 pounds with it, that's actually correct.
Yeah, because what's 5 times 2,000 pounds?
Rope here.
And what else did we discover it was?
As soon as you stop doing that, it just spins underneath the rope here.
Thought is done, right?
And what else did we discover it was great for?
Pulling samples up on the drop tower.
And what are we trying to now discover what we can do with it?
So we're trying to discover if when they say.
So, all right, let's talk about overlaying audio here, right? That thing here just needs to go. That's easy.
The rope here.
And what else did we discover it was great for?
Pulling samples up on the drop tower.
And what are we trying to now discover what we can do with it?
So we're trying to discover if when they say you can pull 2,000 pounds with it, that's actually correct.
Yeah, because what's 5 times 2,000 pounds? Enough.
2,000 pounds with it, that's actually correct.
So, let's see here.
Because what's 5 times 2,000 pounds? Enough.
10,000 is my math.
They were at 640 hertz for 30 seconds and a 6-second pre-capture time. Except for my new floater. Nice.
I would cut all that out. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to unlink this whole thing, take this to here, cut this off, use it for that part.
2,000 pounds with it, that's actually correct.
Okay, we're at 640 hertz.
Pounds with it, that's actually correct.
Okay, we're at 640 hertz for 30 seconds and a 6-second pre-capture time. Just gotta put my second pre
Boom.
Just gotta put my
All right, so that's my thought. Pre-capture time.
nuclear. Just gotta put my nuclear.
Actually, I want to show some of that. So, ooh, that already has B-roll on it. All right, I'll just use it.
Okay, we're at 640 hertz for 30 seconds and a 6-second pre-capture time. Just gotta put my nuclear device ready to go. Oh, we need to add something for device ready to go.
We're ready to go. That's all people care about. This is a mechanical advantage as a myth, not how to break stuff. So we're gonna.
Here to keep this from flying after this component breaks. It's very important to know what's going to break because if something.
So that B-roll doesn't make any sense. That doesn't show how we're protecting the pulley from flying. That doesn't show the rope in the pulley. That's confusing. It's like, oh, is the span set is what keeps it from flying?
Here to keep this from flying after this component breaks. It's very important to know what's going to break because if something else broke like this, like just kind of everything goes flying. Should we bring up soft elevator music so people don't have to listen to this? Ready?
Yes, can't hide behind something for this. So
All right. Let's turn on the elevator.
So I like the elevator music thing. All of that can be cut. And it shows Bobby, right? So like there's multiple reasons that we would want to bring in this story out of what's going on.
Should we bring up soft elevator music so people don't have to listen to this?
So Bobby agrees. He's laughing. Ha 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 ha, right? So we're going to link those back up. So we're going to keep that, right? And we don't really, obviously, has the safety glasses. So it's going to be Bobby turning it on. Boom. We're going to get rid of all that extra.
Elevator music.
So this is where I need elevator music.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of issues going on here, right?
Yeah.
So there's a clip here, and we don't know what this is. It's fast, and there's no, like, story with. There's no reason to help us understand context more. And this would make sense if this was, like, the audio was nice. Then you could go into this, because this shot is really cool.
Dude, my whole band is shifted.
I would say the other thought I had about this was I would want to go back to right where it breaks again. So when it gets put back together to when it gets reassembled right there, I would want to copy that and repeat it one more time. I'd like to end things going forward so people remember what I did. I tinkered a little bit with the Frozen video, but that's because it's just Frozen. There's a lot going on here. So when you see this, first of all, this this audio. So it goes boom. Oh, it punches in. I don't want that. If you're going to go backwards, I think it should be... I like to see the van. I think that van shot's cool. So what I'm going to do is go into the assets where this lives. It's in here somewhere. It's going to be right here. I think it's a really clean shot, but you can't crop in without it looking a little fuzzy. Because it's the high frame rate's a lot lower quality. So I would say we're going to cut it You know, we don't even need elevator music if we... Yeah, we're going to put elevator music over the brake tests. I could leave all of that. That's not the end of the world. Especially if I build up the elevator music and the suspense. So I'm going to just get rid of this. We're going to have elevator music at the time we do it. Let's do just... I don't know how big this is. Okay. How to tell a story with a brake test, right? You want to see, you want to get reminded the overall shot. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the overall shot yet. They've seen just kind of the glimpse of it. I'm wondering if there's more overview shots that we could include. Because this is B-roll. Oh, I think it's because I skipped it all. So it's me pulling.
And I put the line scale 3 in a protected case, so if it does go flying, I will break yet again more line scales. And our test that we're trying to break is a 16 kilodigit flaming carabiner from Amazon. It is some of the percent.
Either way, you'll see the end of this video. It's all the same patterns. Let's just do the brake test itself. Boom, and your brain absorbs it just long enough for that to happen. And I'd say we could cut it there. And what I do is I copy, paste, paste, and then I go backwards on this one. Speed duration, reverse speed. Let's just see what that looks like. Boom. And your brain's trying to figure out what's going on. Boom. So what I'm going to do is, because we already know the scene, we already know the setup. 1, 2, actually, I take this distance here, and I go like that, and that's how much I cut off. I used to count frames. Boom. Boom. So it's like even. And what I might do is, for funsies, is I might do desktop, cloudless, HowNOT2. Might add the arrow to this last clip, and then people can see my van shaking. Boom. And they're looking at my van now, and they can see that it's moving. So if we go back to using this clip.
Dude, my whole van.
Okay, since that is a little awkward. Dude, let's go there.
Dude, my whole van just shifted.
We don't even need him laughing. He didn't laugh enough, and then I go, dude, I'm not saying anything, right?
What'd you think? Was that as good for you as it was for the thing?
See, like, all of that can be gone, and we can just jump right into the joke.
Shifted. Was that as good for you as it was for the tree? It's still shaking.
So Bobby's confirming the... So we'll just end it what he said.
It's still shaking. Still shaking.
And then Bobby, because he's so quiet, has to be...
Well, this caught. That's nice.
Yeah.
There's still some force on this.
We don't care. We don't care. We don't care.
Where is it?
We don't care. There we go. Where is it?
Where is it?
That's the storyline. Where is the carabiner, right? That's what we want to know.
Where is it? Is it?
Let's see here. You're trying to tell a story, right?
It's clearly not on here.
So that's the story. Where is it?
Where is it? It's clearly not on here.
The thing about taking stuff outside the lab is
So the thing about, you gotta like cut out Bobby's ums, right?
the thing about taking stuff downside of the lab is you've got a much bigger area to find stuff.
That's a fun thought. It's a nice, calming, fun thought out of the Bobby, who's more sensible than laughing old me.
And a lot of car windows to break.
Don't need to go there.
Yeah, dude, I have no idea. I could look at the slow-mo.
I love that. I love having that slow-mo.
Yeah, dude, I have no idea. I could look at the slow-mo.
Yeah.
So apparently an 81-to-1, which is how I was trying to break things before.
Ooh, that's peaking. See how loud that is? Because I raised it up. I raised these ones up. This one cannot be raised up or it really goes bad.
An 81-to-1, which is how I was
Anyways, so it goes back to... So there's 2 subscribes here. I would never put... 1 subscribe per video is pretty much all I'll ever do. And there's already been 1. If I bring up to subscribe for the code again, I would put it there. But that means you cannot put it here as well. It's too baggy. We don't want to beg. And we found the carabiner. I know I found the carabiner. So the carabiner's right here.
Look what we found behind the tree. That's amazing. We don't have the other part, though, right?
No, it went about 15 feet. It may have stopped because it hit the other tree.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that clip might feel useless, but if you do this ending that I do when I add, you have to turn these endings down, by the way. They're really loud. It's my old branded jingle. And then I can go, well, that's too large of a file.
Look what we found behind the tree. That's amazing. We don't have the other part, though, right? That's amazing.
That is like the little short clips at the end of a Marvel, the end of a Marvel movie. And then we can fade out. So that's how I would end this video. Is effects, video transition, dissolve, cross dissolve.
That's amazing.
And to add the intro, I guess would be, since I don't know where it is exactly, I'll just drop it here. I do it about right there, and I add that.
That's amazing.
And then I put the cross dissolve more proper on there. There we go.
That's amazing.
And I obviously don't need the audio from it.
That's amazing.
So that's a way to brand it. And that's the ending. So I still want to do... I'm going to B-roll or cut this more because it's just a ton of talking. This is better. This needs more something. And then I just am going to repeat, tighten. But I started with, I think, a 20-minute video, if I'm not mistaken. Well, that's the full... No, that's my video. 20 minutes, 16 seconds. So we've cut this down already 3 full minutes. Yeah, we have cut this down full 3 minutes, and I'm only half done editing this. So this is what it's been making the videos higher quality, is tightening everything up as tight as possible, timing it with what I say, and making a story out of what is there and cutting out the parts that are not there, which is what this is basically about. Thanks for watching such a long video. The end.